origin story. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watch him travel the fire. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film preps on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film prep, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Hollywood on the Rocks. Alan Ng is joining me shortly. Let's do the show. Let's keep tabs on this Marvel stream, and we have tons of news. So thank you for joining us. And why don't we just start the show, because I think Alan is waiting in the wings somewhere. Here he's somewhere. Where is he? He's right. I got to get to the thing. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Damn you, Alan. How dare you hide from Mr. Gore? Alan.
I've been sitting in this chair since 8 a.m.
Yes,
8 a.m. folks.
I've been watching you sit in that chair.
with few breaks. Let's see where we are. We have a list keeping track, and I will share it with you.
Yeah.
I talked about this on Monday. I was told there would be a big Marvel announcement Wednesday, which could eclipse Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
It didn't.
I don't know that it has, but we have.
Maybe this one's the most. I wasn't expecting this one. I wasn't expecting Kelsey Grammer.
Right. But let's look at the tally so far. We're looking live at the stream, so you can see that right now. And also, hello everybody.
Hey,
from the Nooner. This is Alan Ng. He's my partner.
Yeah, and I'm 140 followers away on Twitter from hitting 10,000. So at my pal Al, but it comes out of the cooch.
And what a lot of people don't know about Alan, he's also great at singing. I'm not going to play that clip, actually.
Oh,
I won't play that clip, but this was the news I was teasing on Monday. So let's get back to that stream here. Channing Tatum is the last. I don't know how much longer this is going to go, but it started at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 1 p.m. Pacific time. So 5 hours of this. I'm told Gary said it's 6 hours. I don't know about, oh my gosh, but I don't know what's left. And will there be anyone new? And the big question is, who was left out?
Yeah.
Let's look.
How many more people can you ram into a movie?
Well, a lot, apparently. So here's a graphic made by Atomic Lori. Thank you for that. And Alan, if you'd read off who we have so far, and these are the order they were introduced. This is the cast for Avengers Doomsday, which is Dr. Doom basically versus everyone in the Marvel universe, all the heroes. Alan, if you would read off from the top for those listening only.
All right, so we got Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Letitia Wright, Shuri, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, Wyatt Russell, John Walker, Tenoch Huerta Meja, Namor, Ibn Moss Backrack.
Backrack.
Yeah, Backrack. Simu Liu is back as Shang-Chi. Hey, my dreams have been fulfilled. I hope Aquafina's coming up. Florence Pugh, the Elena, Kelsey Grammer, Beast, Lewis Pullman, Sentry, Danny Ramirez, Falcon Jr., Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm, David Harbour, Alexi, Red Guardian, Winston Duke, M'Baku, Hannah John Common, Ghost, Tom Hiddleston, Loki, Patrick Stewart, Professor X, Ian McKellen, Magneto, Alan Cumming, Nightcrawler, Rebecca Romaine, Mystique, James Marsden, Cyclops, and Channing Tatum so far as Gambit.
And we have room for more. So this is ongoing. I'll go back to the stream there. We'll update the graphic as more come in, but here we
I
go.
mean, did this cast surpass Infinity War, by the way? The cast number?
In or Endgame, you mean? I mean,
No, Infinity War had
Well,
everybody. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure. We'll do a comparison. The one thing to pay attention to, who was left out?
Mm-hmm.
The big questions are, who was left out? Will there be surprise cameos we don't know about? And what other minor characters like surrounding?
Yeah.
Like I don't see Fury, you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
and
Sam-
I don't see
Jackson.
I don't see Kitty Pride. I mean Carl Pride.
Good one. And we will be, this is an ongoing story. We will continue to check on this as we have
there's
other
gonna be a
news
seat-
stories.
There's a seat change coming up, I think.
A seat change.
Trying to remember. Usually they play music before they move the seat, but
I'm not playing the
Okay.
music, but let's say hi to everybody. We appreciate everyone here. Let's read a couple of these. If you go, Alan.
Okay. Otay. Marvel are that desperate. They had to bring back RDJ, and now I bet they're bringing back more. Yeah, well, they're bringing back all the original X-Men. Bell S. Preston Esquire. The Marvel Doomsday Chair stream is approaching 5 hours with 24 names, and it's still going. 4D Viking. So no Brie, or are they saving her for last?
I am told. Well, I might have learned. No Eternals, no Brie Larson.
Why? What have you heard? Has someone told you something?
They're not part of this. They're not part of this movie, Avengers Doomsday. So don't be surprised if they don't show up. That will be the big question. We can talk about it on Friday. But who was left off this list and what does that mean?
Maximus Rabid versus 199. My dude, you don't have a paid subscription. I don't. That's why I need 5 million impressions over 3 months, and that's the thing that's keeping me back at the moment.
You'll get there eventually, Alan. You're live on X right now, actually, as well. Here we go. New chair reveal. No surprise. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. They're spreading out the Fantastic.
Okay, so how many names do we have so far?
Well, 25 now.
25. Okay, so Infinity War had 26 if you include Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Okay, so I'm updating. We have a Google Doc actually, that Alan, you're a part of, but I keep updating that, so we have that. Okay. And we'll see where that goes. But yeah, this is exciting breaking news. So there you go.
Well, they haven't announced RDJ yet, so that's going to be one. And that's let's see, of the X-Men. Oh, Halle Berry is the X-Men who's not appeared yet.
Yeah, well, I don't think she's part of it. I actually don't. They're cherry picking from Marvel's history, the popular characters. So it's no surprise, no Eternals, no, I don't think Scarlett Johansson will be here.
Yeah. Jeremy Renner is not on the list.
Nope.
Mark Ruffalo is not on the list.
Yeah.
Big Worm, remember, for 28 months. Fantastic Four better be lit with this lineup. Well, this is Avengers Doomsday. But yeah, Fantastic Four better be lit. Shonen Kaiju for 199. This is so stupid. C Black for 199. This movie might beat Avatar. Obi-Wan Kamblomi for 2. Is Severance good? Been thinking of watching it.
I have not seen it, but people I have respect who have seen the whole thing felt they wasted their time. It was a mystery box, and mystery box reveals usually never satisfy, but I'll probably still watch it.
Okay. M for two. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Thank you, M.
Yeah, Cade Garrett for 199. Y'all see PTA's one battle after another teaser.
What is that, Cade?
PTA's.
Look
Y'all
that
see-
up, if you would, Atomic Glory. And I want to remind people to go to shop.filmthreat.com. And as Lord Thoth likes to say, we appreciate you, Lord Thoth. Wait, I'm not. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
That's not what I meant to. I'm trying to share this stuff. Here we go. Yes. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. And as Lord Thoth likes to say, what does he like to say, Alan?
You like to say like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, or Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com.
Get a Film Threat pint glass. Get the shirt that I'm wearing, the Fantastic Four classic logo as a Film Threat shirt. Pick it up, limited edition. So check that out, and we appreciate it. One last super chat here before we get to our news story. We'll do news stories in between reveals. How about that?
Yes.
And we do have we do an interview at the end of the show. We do indie filmmaker interviews, and we'll be talking to the director Don Capria behind the film Director's Cut. We'll show you the trailer too. So we have a mountain of news stories, which we will get to in the order right here. Okay, all right. Couple more supers and then on to news stories.
All right, C-Dub for 499. Feels like we are getting an alternate Avengers 616 versus X-Men Fox movie with Doom creating battle world behind the scenes. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think this movie is going to be.
Yeah, it'll be a battle world.
Yeah. Okay. Cassigan, member for 15 months. I hope they donate all these to chairs to children at the orphanage.
Well, I'm thinking these are not real. It's either AI or digital. It's a completely fake thing.
Yes.
Oh, Cade for 199. Paul Thomas Anderson new film starring Leo. Yeah, that I'm interested in. I like PTA. I think he's amazing. So yeah, I'm in. I'm all in on that. So sorry, Cade. I should have known that. But thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right. We're going to be like any breaking news. We'll go back to this story. But let's do this. We are going to do other news stories in between, and we'll then check back as each new chair is revealed. But here it is. Rachel Zegler will never work in Hollywood again. I have said this. I have said that Rachel Zegler will have a career on Broadway. She'll have a career in small indie movies. She will never be featured in a tentpole Hollywood blockbuster costing millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not going to happen. So now it's been revealed. Alan, I know you could I'll bring up the story, but if you would read from the story, please.
Sure.
So let me bring this up. This is from Disney is actually now blaming or throwing under the bus Rachel Zegler. This is from Jordan Rumi. It's from his blog, The World of Real. Disney blaming Rachel Zegler for Snow White. Alan, if you would.
Yes, as Snow White struggled at the box office, Disney appeared to distance itself from Rachel Zegler, casting her as the scapegoat for the film's failure. According to a Variety report filled with anonymous Disney-linked sources, Zegler's behavior, both in interviews and on social media, allegedly created headaches for the studio. Her controversial remarks began with criticism of the original 1938 Snow White, which she called weird and creepy. Things escalated when, during the film's promotion, she posted Free Palestine on social media after introducing the trailer at the Disney's D23 Expo. This reportedly shocked Disney executives, especially as tensions over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict intensified. As the controversy mounted, Zegler Zegler's past political statements resurfaced, including anti-Trump posts that prompted Disney to assign her a social media guru to vet her online activity. In the months leading up to the film's release, Zegler made a dramatic shift in tone, apologizing to Trump supporters and offering praise to her critics, a move seemingly orchestrated to control the damage. Despite these efforts, Snow White underperformed, and Disney's handling of Zegler's suggested an attempt to shift blame onto the actress rather than acknowledge broader issues with the film's production and reception.
Look, she's a child. There's no excuse based on her age to not be professional. And what she did, and we'll go to another story related. Her words like had real world consequences, right? That could have hurt one of her co-stars. You know, I'm speaking, of course, of the Israeli-born Gal Gadot. And we'll get to that. But Alan, what do you think of this? I mean, look, I think there is a certain, and to give credit for the Little Mermaid movie, Halle Bailey, she was a total pro. She went through that press tour with a smile. She never vilified anyone. I thought she was very good in that movie. She really has like a Disney princess kind of look.
She had the Ariel vibe.
I still think just make a new character, but whatever. They should have just not done Ariel. Tell a different mermaid story, but whatever.
Here's the more interesting thing. The D23 Expo that the Zegler made those comments. Halle Bailey show was there, and I remember the first thing thinking was, this is Black Ariel. I mean, the way she presented herself, the way she came across, it was like, I understand why they cast her, but as you say, you know, we still want a little bit of authenticity when it comes to the original property.
Yeah.
All right, but in terms of this, I'll say this: we've talked ad nauseum about Rachel Zegler's comments. Let's just say, remove the comments. Let's just say that she was a PR pro, and her social media was great. Snow White is still an awful movie. The story is awful. The whole communism angle, the girl bossing, it is bad. I want to feel like, or I believe that parents really didn't care about what Rachel said, that they're not that in tune like we are to pre-promotion, but what they are in tune with is bad movies. And that the average person knows a bad movie when they see it. And this was certainly it. We talked a little bit about it on Versus, but if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, it's less than half. And outlets like the New York Times and Variety trashed this movie just as much as we did. By the way, they just announced a new person, or they're about to. Sorry.
Let's just continue. Finish this.
So that's so it's still a bad movie.
Look, like you can't deny the movie's bad. And the worst thing is, when it comes to the final movie, she's not even the worst part about the movie. The script, the songs, like the
dwarves.
The dwarves were awful, but Rachel Zegler was fine, and she can sing. So that was a surprise. But her off-camera or off-screen conduct, that is what will tank her career. She only has herself to blame. So too bad.
All right, they're about to.
All right, hang on a sec. We're about to reveal another one, and then we have another news story related to that.
Okay, those chairs are about to move at any moment now.
We're about to move. Let me refresh. Let's see. Who do we got?
Well, we'll see. We're at Pedro Pascal. The only reason I know is they play music just before they move the chairs.
Oh, really? Is that what they do
right now?
All right.
So it will move momentarily.
Okay, that's cool. Who would you guess? Because it's beyond what I think I know now.
See, I wonder if Robert Downey Jr. is going to be the last one.
I mean, but we already know that it's not. I mean, and maybe Robert Downey Jr. comes on camera and speaks. I think this will have an end. This video will have this long reveal will end with some form of video.
Yeah. Well, okay, so one person who hasn't been mentioned from the Thunderbolts is Taskmaster.
Probably not going to be there.
Yeah, which may say some. I mean, look, they just spoiled the ending of Thunderbolts. No one dies except maybe Taskmaster. She doesn't show up on this list.
All right. Well, don't get distracted by this.
I know.
Let's go to our next story here.
Okay.
So, all right. I have the next story. Let me get this right. Gal Gadot got death threat. This is from our friend Christian Toto. If you'd read the story, Alan, this is Gal Gadot as a result of her posts about Palestine and her Israeli-born co-star Gal Gadot. She had death threats. This is from Christian Toto from Hollywood.
Oh, hey, go to the thing.
Okay. So yeah, we'll start this over. Okay.
Okay. No, it's over now. Yeah, it's over now.
What was it?
I told you to wait. I told you to wait.
Here we go. What is it?
Look, you got to back. I told you.
Back it up. All right.
Back it up. Just back it up. I told you to wait. I told you to wait.
Can you I'll even put the audio on.
Okay, but this is the last one. Yeah.
Here it is. Who is the final reveal after Pedro Pascal?
Say everyone knows who it is now.
No, don't.
Okay, all right. Yeah. No, who could it be? I don't know.
Let's see. Who is it? Not put those up. Thank you. All right, I can't wait. Here's my reaction. Who it is. Please don't put those up. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Who is that? Oh my gosh, who is that? Who is that?
Probably not even him. Well, there you go. I was very good. Now we got the whole cast.
Turn down. I like how he gave the shush sign, like don't
yeah,
let
quiet.
It's me.
All right.
I'm
Final thoughts on this. Final thoughts, Alan.
Yeah. Well, I guess the big news is the original X-Men are back.
Well, the big original X-Men back. None of the new X-Men from First Class or beyond. Also, no Eternals. No Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. No Sam Jackson. Okay.
No Chris Evans.
No Chris Evans.
No Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, I think some people may be disappointed that others aren't in this. We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. I also think they will keep certain cameos under wraps. But these are the announced cast. That's what? How many people in total now?
Believe
25 people.
Was it? No, I think it was. Revealed. I think it's 26. Or hold on. We have too many docs. And this one's not numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21.
You're welcome. Do you ever when you read, do you read in your head silently?
No, because you keep saying fill in space. So let's just say that list is the exact same list, exact same number as Avengers Infinity War. So
it's a similar number. Okay.
So that list,
generally
there were 26 chairs, and in Infinity War there were 26 heroes.
Well, there you go. Okay. What do people think about this? Let's go to the chat comments and questions. Then we have tons of news stories.
All right. The Flying Elvis became a YouTube member. Thank you for that.
And by the way, if you're a member, please look at the members only videos. I filmed the Q&A with John Carpenter and Bong Joon-ho from last Saturday. I posted the whole thing, other ones as well. So check those out.
Yep. Matthew Hammond for 12 months. Blue collar movies, top 5 buddy cop movies. Lethal Weapon is one.
48 hours.
48 hours. Turner and Hooch.
Twins with Danny DeVito.
They weren't cops. They weren't.
Well, they could have been undercover.
Yeah. And
Thank you, Matthew Hammond. I'll give a more extensive answer when we have more time. But thank you.
Maximus Rabidvius for $199. My dude, who pays the money lost in Snow White?
Well, that would be the shareholders. So I hope you don't have Disney stock.
Well, Lilo and Stitch will pay for it. The Flying Elvis for 20. Hey guys, I left Cali in 2001. I always loved the flow of your show. You doing Vegas in April or still PTSD? Chris, you guys are all good things in this town.
I am going to Vegas next week to go to CinemaCon with Alan.
Yeah,
we will see How to Train Your Dragon. We'll do the John Wick experience. I'll post videos for members for that. And we will also see the 5-minute James Gunn Superman presentation. And we will tell you about it. Alan and I will be live from Vegas next week. So we're literally doing verses and getting in a car and going to Vegas. So
yeah. And I think I heard that the Universal Hollywood Halloween Horror is open now in Vegas. But I think the ultimate question was, are you doing the meetup in April?
I don't know, but I am going next week.
Okay.
Continue, please.
Pilgrim Media for 2. What will Disney do if the remaining tent poles fail?
They will scale down dramatically.
They will fire people for the mistakes the executives made. Joe Pat 87 for $199. Elizabeth Olsen said she wasn't returning anyway. Haley Brady. No Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep. Notable.
Jeff McCullough for 2. Where is Storm and Logan? Will Deadpool show up? Yeah, no.
I suspect there will be secrets. This is the revealed cast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think there will be other cameos.
Yeah. That they're still working on contracts, I guess.
Yeah.
That maybe Halle Berry will go full African accent in this one.
There you go.
Andrew Cram gifted 10 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Hey, Steph, my nerdy home. That was so anticlimactic. Well, it's anticlimactic only because it was so long. If it was 1 hour with a chair every 2 or 3 minutes, it probably would have been more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think ending essentially with Pedro Pascal might have been part of the anticlimactic nature of this. You kind of want to build up and keep people wanting more, and you kind of ruined it with Pedro. Greedy Graffiti for $199. I migrated to channel from Nerdrotic. Hey, thank you for coming over.
Greedy Graffiti, and please sub to the channel if you have not already.
All right, Mark Muncie for 2.
Thank you for the 2. Appreciate it.
ADL is over on Rumble. Over on Rumble. Rumors are Rachel Zegler has been removed from Disney's internal actor list after all the hassle she caused.
Like I said, she will not get hired again at all for a tentpole large movie. And she may have to experience a redemption arc. I think Brie Larson kind of went through that. Brie Larson was humbled by the reaction and failure and the unlikability of her character. They did their best. And I think she's, at least in the press, she's been very humbled by her experience. So we could see that. I doubt it. I think Rachel Zegler is not nearly as talented or self-aware or mature. So there you go. Let's talk about this, Alan. We were in the midst of it.
All right.
Let's talk about Gal Gadot, the co-star of Rachel Zegler in the Snow White film from Disney. This is from Hollywood in Toto. That's Christian Toto's blog. Legacy media buries death threats against Gal Gadot. Snow White star attacked for pro-Israel stance while others received more coverage. This is after Rachel. If you would read the story, Alan, give us the crux of it here.
Hold on. I didn't get the link. I just found it, and now I'm looking for the. Okay, here we go. So inside Disney Snow White fiasco, death threats, beat up security, and a social media guru for Rachel Zegler reads the Variety headline. Gadot is Jewish and previously served in the IDF. She has been outspoken about supporting Israel and has been a very modest part of her public persona. That was enough to inspire pro-Palestinian supporters to not only call for her death, but to inspire Disney to hire security above and beyond what a traditional celebrity receives, according to Variety. So where is the headline in the story? Right-leaning outlet like the Daily Mail covered the news. Yahoo recycled the Variety scoop and made it an obvious headline. That's all according to good faith Google News search. It's impossible not to see a connection to the Gadot news and recent media narratives. When pro-Jewish documentaries hit the market, most movie critics avoid them. If a Jewish star gets canceled, threatened, or worse, most media outlets simply grow mostly silent. And when an A-list actress endures enough death threats to require security forces, the story barely makes a ripple in the news waters.
Well, look, this is why I think people are so upset with Rachel Zegler, and she really maybe at least more than 50% responsible for the failure of this movie. But not only that, the movie was ill-conceived to begin with. To do a kind of girl bossy version of Snow White, it's not the character. And for her to do this against her co-star, put her life at risk, I cannot believe they stood next to each other at the Oscars. This is going to be a lesson for Hollywood, and I don't think Rachel Zegler will learn the lesson. She will simply take her career. Well, she will be applauded on Broadway. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, to Christian's point, this is the reason why we don't trust the mainstream media, because they're clearly biased. The media should just present the facts. Doesn't matter if it's right-leaning news or left-leaning news. Just present what's going on. And the story of Gal Gadot needing extra security above and beyond what the normal person gets, the fact that the death threats against her are not being reported just tells you that the mainstream media is just one-sided, and we're not getting the full picture. And I think that's the reason why we don't like the mainstream media is because we don't get the full picture. We only get one-sided, and burying stories like this is just indicative of that. And so ultimately the question is, when did anti-Semitism become in style again?
When the U.S. aid was funding all of it,
yeah,
and funding all of the campus indoctrination and protests. That's when it happened. So look, this is when you get hired, and I think you're going to see contracts for actors change. You get hired to work on a big franchise film. You have a responsibility. You represent Disney and to the public, right? And her behavior on social media and interviews, I think maybe in the beginning she was given bad advice. She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince. Okay, sure. She might have been fed things to say. It might not have been her. So she was getting bad advice, but to continue on that and then to post about the Snow White trailer, include a Free Palestine little note at the end, was a dig at her co-star. And it's disgusting behavior, quite frankly.
Yeah, especially when you're promoting your movie in that.
Yes. It's so obvious. I don't know this. Look, I do think that you're going to see more and more actors that will be muzzled. And like, if they're smart, like Scarlett Johansson, just don't have a social media presence. If you can't help yourself, and I'm okay with celebrities having opinions, but at the same time, vilifying half the country, that you can have your opinions, but like you do have a responsibility, especially when the movie is hundreds of millions of dollars and tied to a legacy movie that began the very company that's writes the signs the checks your paycheck. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, that is horrifying. Horrifying. Final thoughts. We'll go to comments.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same with Rachel Zegler. It's, you know, ignore all that stuff. It's really, the bottom line is what's on the screen. Hate to say it, gal, but your performance was awful. Your song was cringeworthy. And again, not necessarily your fault, but man, what a train wreck this movie was. And all this outside pressure didn't help a damn for this movie. So it's gonna, I think I'm leaning more toward this movie heading into the Marvel's territory in terms of it'll be out of theaters in 2 weeks from now. And I don't think it'll get that slow burn that Mufasa or the Elemental got in the theaters.
According to the coupon that I got on Hollywood Boulevard, it's playing through April 20th at the El Capitan Theater. So they literally, Disney giving out coupons in stores all up and down Hollywood Boulevard to see Snow White for $20. So
yeah,
we'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. And I do believe second weekend for this movie will be very telling. Is it going to be Mufasa and the regular families go to movies will ignore the noise, or will it tank like Strange World? Strange World tanked.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear tanked, but Mufasa, a bad movie, did not tank. So it's very possible Snow White could still end up with a mine car of gold.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because Strange World and Lightyear tanked for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely the Marvel's territory. I think it's just people realize it's a bad movie and they're not going to spend $20 at the El Cap, which is a great deal, by the way.
That is a great deal.
They're not going to spend that money to go see this movie.
Let's go to chat comments here.
All right. Gabing Bungho for 2.
Yes.
Will y'all do a live?
Got you.
Man to woman, woman to man, penis to vagina.
Penis to vagina?
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 I can't believe you know the words to that song. Will y'all do a
Great
live
song.
car stream on the way to Vegas? Yeah, we might. That'll be Monday night.
Yeah. There's definitely a section where the internet is awful.
It might be short, under an hour, but Gabe, you asked for it. We'll do it. We will do it. All right. Continuing with comments here.
The Flying Elvis for 20. Thank you, guys. We have actually met before at the Millennium Fandom Bar. You guys make it so.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Love Millennium Fandom Bar. Again, next week I'll be there. I think Gary will be there with Alan and I. Not sure about the meetup yet.
Yet. Wow, this trip is it's getting bigger than I thought it would be. All right.
What? I don't know. I'm being honest.
It's like you're dropping all this stuff. I thought we were just going to drive there, stay at a hotel, and go to the conference. But it seems
this is. Let's continue.
Okay, Rowdy Hitman for $2.99 Australian. No Pedro. Fantastic Four sounding better recast coming. No, he's there. Melodic Method for 10. Chris, can you say the word prostitute again? Yeah, that was the word you had trouble.
Let me try it. Prostitute.
Oh,
Prostitute.
see,
Prostitute. I couldn't say slurring. Like look, I've gotten better. I don't consider myself 100%. I'm probably 90, but I'm a tough critic. I'm very tough on myself.
Yeah, I mean, are you putting effort into saying prostitute, or do you feel like
the more I say it, prostitute, I'll get good.
Yeah, keep saying it. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. Dislike both, but neither should get threats. I'm fed up with Gal getting a free pass while everyone comes down on Rachel. They both suck.
Well, yeah, look, no one should be threatened, including Rachel. Just, you're in a bad movie. There's a cost for that. You need to be accountable. And she basically gave up her career for her beliefs.
Yeah. Look, you make a bad movie and you have bad opinions, bad political opinions. That doesn't mean you deserve violence.
Yep.
All right. Jim Raschuti, aka Gen X Fed for
Hey,
$9.99.
James. Appreciate you, James. James is very generous. I have a hoodie I wear when it's cold that I really appreciate. James has been very generous. He sent us many gifts, but I'll leave it at that.
Chris calls it the Raschuti. My daughter,
what?
the hoodie. That's what. My daughter is a theater nerd. Yeah, welcome to join the club. There are many great singers in that community. Zegler's voice is not so unusual that it makes up for the fact that she's a terrible person, not worth her mediocre talent.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. My daughter agrees with you as well. Day Trippers, member for 6 months. Last Sunday here in Argentina at the theaters I went to, there were more people to watch Hans Zimmer's doc than Snow White.
Oh, that doc is great. We just did a video on the channel about it.
Yeah. And Sons and Shadows for 2. Lock your car, Chris, or you'll find your Kang. Or you'll only find your Kang. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, just don't leave things in the car. Ryan White for 5 Canadian, especially when you're at the Hilton. Ryan White for 5. During your guys' Snow White review, when Alan said Dopey was Conan O'Brien, Chris's awkward, infuriating silence had me in tears.
It was the opposite. I said that.
No, but when we redid it, and then I said it.
Oh, it's look. You know what? The chat, you keep us honest, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. So thank you for that. I thought you know what? Wrong. Made a mistake. I'll correct myself.
Yeah, and you were just as angry as your face looks right now.
Yeah, I'm very red right now. What's up with me? Yeah.
Measured Move 76 for 10. Al is awesome, but with younger generations, AI. Sorry, AI is awesome, but with younger generations used to TikTok, YouTube, etc., what will become of theaters? I am a Gen Xer, and sometimes I think I'll wait till I can stream it.
I don't know. I think that, look, drive-in movie theaters are still around. They used to be 6,000. Now they're only about 300 or 400 screens in the US. So habits change, but drive-ins are still here. I think there will always be entertainment that is in theaters, but it will evolve. And there'll probably be fewer screens, but more premium theaters.
Yeah.
So make of that will.
Yeah, and there's no better way to see a movie than a theater. Sorry.
I love the movie theater. I'm going right after the stream to go see a movie I don't even care about, just to go to a theater.
Yeah.
Let's finish this up and next topic.
Okay. Sons and Shadows gifted 5 film memberships. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sons and Shadows. We have met and hung out. So there you go.
All right. Bill W., member for 3 months. Alan, could you shout out my friend, You Stinky Poo? Hey,
Wait,
shout out to
try that again.
Shout out to You Stinky Poo.
Thank you.
You're not only number 1, you're number 2. Jean Hu gifted 5 Film Threat memberships.
Yeah.
Is that it?
And I had a couple other comments, but we are very, this was a crazy day. I want to talk about this in Marvel news here. Ironheart is coming.
Oh, thank God.
People seem to forget that this even happened. The series has been done and waiting to be debuted for some time. Will they drop all the episodes at once? I don't know, but we got our first look. Are you ready, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say I was excited when they introduced her in the Eternals, and I can't wait to see this show. Well,
Ironheart, what do you mean? It was Black Panther 2.
Oh, I forgot that movie came out. Yeah, you're right.
And Conan O'Brien was not in it. But look at this.
Yeah.
Ironheart premieres on Disney Plus in exactly 3 months. Are you excited for Marvel updates? Here's some pictures. This
Oh
is
wow!
the Ironheart suit.
Look at that.
Looks
Very
like
feminine.
It looks like Ultraman, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Little Ultraman with the colors. We get a hooded figure here. Looks like Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, yeah. Is that the evil wolf down the?
It's the evil someone. White
Random guy.
white guy, and a closer look at the Ironheart suit.
But this is the golden suit. Yeah.
The golden Ironheart suit. This was a character that failed in the comics. It will probably get very little interest as a Disney Plus show. Alan, do you plan to watch all of these episodes as you did Echo?
Yes, because that's sort of my job.
Yeah, and by the way, we did get a screener. Did you check?
Yes, I did for Andor.
For Andor season 2, we are getting all the
all 9,
all episodes to check out. As for this, and we'll cover that as soon as we can. As for Ironheart, I think these sort of these characters that are like look, when I love Batman. Okay, I love Batman. There was Batman, then there was Robin, then there was Batgirl, then there was Batwoman, then there was Bathound and Batmite. There's like Superman and the Superman family. There's Batman and the Batman family. When you get to these extended cousin of the main, I don't really, it kind of lose me. And I'm not sure that it's necessary. So an expansion of a beloved character is, I'd rather see an original character. I'd rather see a comic accurate Luke Cage with the wide collared yellow shirt and chains and headband and blue pants. Like that would be cool. I'd rather see a Falcon that is like Falcon from the comics, although that costume was kind of looked like Ice Capades. I like Sam Wilson's costume. It looked more practical. So, but Ironheart, I have no interest. We'll see it because we need to keep up with what's happening in Marvel. But I think this has been sitting on the shelf for a while for a reason. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Disney's clearly burning off their inventory, their content library.
Right.
Who is this for? Little girls, and specifically little black girls. This has been kind of the misguided direction Disney Plus had been going into for the last 5-6 years. They think that if you make it DEI, you make it woke, that there's an audience for it, and they're learning the hard lesson that there isn't, because the audience that you are going for doesn't watch this stuff anyways, or very few. I should qualify that because I always get nailed on that statement. But there's not enough of that audience to bring you enough revenue to buy enough subscriptions to make this series worth it. And right now, I don't see anything in here that would make me want to see it or need to see it, and I don't see anything here that would make my young daughter need to or want to see it either.
All right, let's go to comments here.
Andrew Cram, member for 14 months. Thank you for the honest content, Chris and Alan.
Oh, appreciate you, Andrew.
Yeah. Trucker Mark, member for 9 months. Hello, everyone. Hey, hello.
Hello, Trucker Mark. Thanks for being a member.
Okay, Sons and Shadows. What about Cream of Sung Young Hai? Prairie Rider. Tivam Chen-Hu. Introspect M. I think this will go the way of the Willow. Probably. It'll probably won't be on Disney Plus for a long time.
Hey,
Valiant
Valiant.
Renegade. Hey, for $9.99. Are you ready for worse viewership than Skeleton Crew or Daredevil, Ironheart?
Well,
coming
worse
this May?
viewership. Thank Skeleton Crew and Daredevil, Ironheart, coming this May on what's left of Disney Plus.
I mean,
think
it'll do
June,
echo numbers. I think it'll do echo numbers.
It'll do echo numbers.
Fox One, member for 1 month. Frank, be careful watching Ironheart. We don't want you stroking one out again. Alan's underpaid. That's right. Alan's underpaid. And you need to be stroking one out.
Well, there you go. Stroking one out. Okay, I'll take that under advisement. Oh my God. All right. And do we do this one?
I blame John Campia for all this.
Yes.
Read by nature, Ultraman should get the same Hollywood treatment Godzilla did. Only if they make Ultraman a black woman.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that one. So, hey, a couple quick things, and I have an exclusive, but let's do this right now.
Let's do what? What are you doing?
I'm rearranging things.
Are
I'm
you-
getting
are you
prepped for
okay?
something else. I'm okay.
Should I be worried about?
I've been sitting in a chair since 8 a.m.
Is this
Hey.
a pre Las Vegas nerves?
No, it's
going
all
on?
good. Hey, Rust is a movie that was surrounded by tragedy. Of course, we know about Alec Baldwin and his trigger finger. He has been absolved of responsibility. Make of that what you will. But there is a trailer for the Western Rust that they were filming when the cinematographer was tragically killed. We can look at the trailer now. Alan, you have not seen this. You're about to see it.
Yes.
It's a little over a minute. Let's look at it. I want you to comment, and we'll talk about it. Here we go.
The only order that exists in this world is the order we impose. If a man loses sight of that, he's got nothing.
God bless the wicked. And they continue to pay my bills. Some things in this life you can't get back, I reckon. Heaven ain't waiting on neither one of us.
I have no idea what he just said.
Some things you can't get back, I reckon. I don't know, man. There are some lines that were said in that are not going to hit the same. I mean, we've seen movies where people have died tragically.
Mhm.
Of course, Brandon Lee from The Crow, and that movie really had weight.
Mhm.
I remember seeing it in first run in the 90s, and wow, it really hit. When you went to see that movie knowing what happened to Brandon Lee, that movie felt different. The Dark Knight, knowing Heath Ledger, of course, didn't die during the movie, but tragically after with he was due to drugs.
Mhm.
He was not taking his meds correctly. Okay. But knowing that made The Dark Knight have a little bit more weight to it. This is different. A guy who's in the movie, Alec Baldwin, in the movie, a person in the film, a character in the movie, and every line he says about life, death, the universe, heaven, reckon, it's gonna hit different knowing he allegedly had something to do with, pulled the trigger where he was unaware that it had bullets that led to the death.
He allegedly manslaughtered somebody. Let's put it
Allegedly manslaughtered somebody. Alan, what are your thoughts? It looks like a fine Western. To me, it looks kind of generic. I personally love Westerns. I'd like to see them make a comeback.
Mhm.
I wish this was shelved one last prediction before we go to your thoughts, Alan. This movie will begin with a tribute to the cinematographer. And somewhere at the end credits, I believe that I'm sure some of the money, the only way you could justify this, some of the money will go to her family. Alan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a it's a cursed production. That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
Because you said it, the in the first two examples, Brandon Lee and Heath Ledger, it was the actor who died. In this case, it was the actor who manslaughtered someone who's not on camera, and that just sours. It just, when you think about the movie, you're always gonna be thinking about that. When you watch the movie, every time Alec Baldwin opens his mouth, you're gonna be critical as to the dialogue he was given, as you mentioned with what happened. Now you take all that out, I'm interested in seeing it because, let's face it, Westerns are now in the hands of independent filmmakers. You're just not, other than Kevin Costner, you're not going to see a high budget Western anymore. And I'm glad that indie filmmakers are the ones who are going to take on the mantle of the Western. But it'll be interesting. I think it will do well at the beginning. I think people are going to be curious about Alec Baldwin and his appearance in the movie. But again, there's such a dark cloud, such a specter hanging over this movie that the movie will never get a fair shot at real criticism, and that's a shame. But we're definitely going to be seeing it.
Yeah, I look, it's cursed. I don't think people are going to go to the theater. I don't think this movie has a life. I think the investors push to have this done. But Alec Baldwin has not looked good post this film and post the events of the film. Like he's always had irrational behavior in public. He's on a short fuse. Then he had that talk show for a while on MSNBC. Then he kind of his character in that Tina Fey show, which was actually a good show.
30 Rock.
30 Rock, which was decent. He played kind of a parody of a right-wing TV executive, whatever. And then the reality show, like what the decisions he's made post all of this controversy do not make him look good. And, at this point, if it benefits the family, that's the only silver lining to this getting released. Let's go to your comments here. Start from the top.
Yeah. Sorry. There's someone made a comment about the armorer. If you could star that one, if you find it. Shuts. I stand behind Alec Baldwin mostly because it's too dangerous to stand in front of him.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Moving on. Seed says this movie was a blast to make. Alec Baldwin. Oh shit.
Oh, well, there you go.
Rhino Helix. Heaven ain't waiting on neither of us. Let's see. Brill Espresso Esquire. I think the cinematographer's husband received a producer credit as part of the settlement. Yeah, that's a hell of a way to get a producer credit. The Introspect M. I'm not even a Baldwin hater. I think it's all on the armorer, but he needed to take ownership from the executive level and show some remorse and effort to take accountability.
I agree with you, Introspect M. I do think it's on the armor, but his off-camera conduct does not make him a sympathetic figure, and his inability to take responsibility, full responsibility, is also not helping him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but there's a documentary about behind the stunt work and a lot of stunt people being injured, and a lot of it is the pressure that the producers are putting on them to basically work more for less, work longer hours than your body can physically handle. And the impression that they give in terms of this specific movie is the armorer had 3 roles on the film, and the day she was supposed to be the armorer for that, she wasn't supposed to be the armorer. There's all this weird stuff, but the reality is that these people are underpaid, overworked, and the armorer was the only one who was convicted of any crime in this, and the producers were untouched. They were let off scot-free, and it just says that we need to be looking at the roles producers play into all this.
All right, let's switch topics because we have a lot of them.
Yep.
Let's go to Ben Affleck, who was not included as part of the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement, but he's made a comment that I think is worth noting. Alan, if you would, I'll bring it up, but why don't you read from the story from Variety? Like,
all right.
I'm very curious because I have not seen this, but to be fair, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think everyone was a little surprised, but I think he pulled it off.
Excuse me.
Here we go.
Everyone was surprised he wasn't bad. Ben Affleck says, "I've lost interest in superhero movies." Ben Affleck opened up in a GQ interview about his challenging experience playing Batman in Zack Snyder's DC film, calling it excruciatingly excruciating.
Could you repeat that? You dropped out, Alan. Could you repeat that?
Yeah. Okay. So Ben Affleck opened up about his challenging experience playing Batman in Zack Snyder's DC films, calling it excruciating due to a combination of personal and professional struggles. Debuting as the Dark Knight in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Affleck later reprised his role in Justice League and The Flash, but the experience left him disillusioned. He admitted that beyond the pressures of a superhero franchise, there was a fundamental misalignment of creative agendas between himself, the director, and the studio. While he initially found Batman's older, broken persona compelling, he recognized that Snyder's dark vision clashed with the studio's desire to appeal to a younger audience, especially after realizing his own son was too scared to watch the film. Affleck also acknowledged his personal failings at the time, revealing he was unhappy and lacked the positive energy needed to fully commit.
Yeah, I think the main thing is his son, but I think there's two types of Batman. I think Batman is a more adult character. I like Robert Pattinson's his version. It's different. It's different. I like what Ben Affleck did, but Batman, because of his origin, because he's almost inspired by Dracula and characters like Zorro, whatnot, like he's meant to put fear into people. You know, if your son is too scared, you're doing Batman right. If you ask me, if your son is too scared, I don't know how old, but single digit age kids should not be watching Batman. At least Batman as he is in the comics, like Dark Knight Returns, right? Or Batman Year One, Batman Year Two, or some of the runs where Batman is it's a dark story. Superman is for kids. Batman is a more adult character. So I kind of think if your son is scared, you're probably doing it right. But you know, a lot of the actors who play superhero roles do kind of like when their family enjoys it. I was actually interviewing, believe it or not, I was at G4 TV. I interviewed Robert Downey Jr. for a movie called Waking Life by Richard Linklater. I got to interview him, and it was the day he was announced as Tony Stark. And when I talked to Robert Downey Jr., I congratulated him. I said, "Congrats, you're going to be a perfect Tony Stark. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see an Iron Man movie." And Robert Downey Jr. said, I remember this, he just said, "I'm just happy I can be in a movie my kids can see."
Mm-hmm.
Because previous to that, Robert Downey Jr. had done some pretty dark movies.
Yeah.
Even Less Than Zero, where he gets involved in drugs and other stuff, prostitution. Those are dark films. And, you know, his previous career to Iron Man, Tony Stark, had been some very dark movies. So this does have an impact on actors' decisions to play these characters. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, Hollywood's not the dream. And
yes.
And who knew that corporations buying IPs, the destruction of these IPs began so long ago. But again, everyone wants to work in Hollywood. Remember when you wanted to be in a Star Wars movie? Remember when you wanted to be in a Superman or a Batman movie? Remember when you wanted to be in a Marvel movie? Those days are long gone. And again, Hollywood is not the dream. And this is what happens when a corporation runs Superman and Batman. Because now you have a good to great actor who has become disillusioned with the process and the genre altogether. And let's also be real, the problem has not been fixed. You know, are people really excited about being in Avengers Doomsday?
Yes. I don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's obligation. And I'm sad. It's sad to say this, but I do think Marvel's best days are behind it. I don't think that's a shocking statement.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've always liked Ben Affleck. I liked him in Gone Girl. I liked him in just so many indie things, Chasing Amy, among others. And he seems like a real guy, you know. And I like his relationship with Matt Damon. You know, they've been friends coming up in the industry. I believe they worked hard as writers and producers.
They won Oscars together.
They won Oscars. Argo is fantastic. Ben Affleck is one of the short list of actors in Hollywood who understands the craft of filmmaking. He understands it. The Town. So I would have loved to have seen Ben Affleck's Batman directed movie. It'd probably be great, but you kind of got to understand the character. Batman is more adult and not for single digit age kids. It's just not. So there you go.
Yeah, let me point out this. So the big announcement during the casting of Avengers Doomsday was bringing back the original X-Men. Do you remember how long ago that movie came out?
Right.
25 years ago.
1999.
Right,
actually.
25 years ago.
26. Well, 25, 26 change, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's I heard July 14th, 2000. That's when it came out.
All right, okay.
So almost 25
so
years.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. They're all 25 years older.
Yes. But James Marsden looks really good.
Yeah.
He's like preserved. You know, look at him in the Sonic movies.
I know he's the only one who'll look like his character from the first movie. But yeah, to me, it's like as excited as I am. Is it mostly member berries now? Am I excited because I just wonder. Look, I don't want to say it, but I will. But having watched Patrick Stewart in the last few things, he's getting old.
He's looking well. This will be the last appearance.
Yeah.
Of Professor X. Maybe they'll kill his character again. It'll be what, the third, fourth time?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, Ian McKellen still looks great, so at least you got that.
We shall see. All right, let's go to comments here, and I'm going to take a brief break while you read the comments, Alan.
Okay. Get your lunch. Get your lunch.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right. From Christopher Moonlight Productions, who I have to return an email to. I disagree that Batman is for adults. The animated series showed that it can be grown up, but still kid friendly. The problem is we're making kids fare too adult, and that's why SH films are dying. Superhero films are dying. It's weird because I would say the opposite. I feel like we're dumbing things down too much for kids. And I think what you're bringing up here is there's this happy medium between being dark and being too light. There's a pathway down the middle where you can have both. And I think the studios have forgotten that and don't know how to do it. I don't know how to bring it back. And I think Snow White might be an example of that. They played it way too safe when, their version of evil and darkness is not what we wanted or saw on screen. Ote says Marvel are that desperate that they had to bring RDJ, and now I bet they're bringing back more. I think we got this one already. Yeah. ADL is 24. Ben was always the perfect casting for Batman. It was just the wrong time for him personally. Yeah, and I think, I can tell you my feelings about Zack Snyder. Solomon Thornton
Tell me your feelings about Zack
I've told this
Snyder.
before. I think Zack Snyder ruined Superman.
Yes, he did.
I did not like Man of Steel, and then when I watched the Snyder cut, it was like, how much backstory do we need? I mean, it's like you're making 3 movies and shoving it into one. I think, I did not like Justice League, and but it was better than Rebel Moon. So
And by the way, I heard Christopher Moonlight's comments. I agree. The Batman animated series, they should have put that team in charge of Batman. People said that for years. So that's the balance. It can be both dark for adults and be good enough for kids or at least palatable for kids.
Well, that was a cartoon.
But a very
We can't-
stylized. It was very stylized in that kind of 1940s Fleischer Superman look. So
yeah.
yeah.
But
anyways,
my point is Warner Brothers was not going to let cartoon guys do a live action series.
Yeah.
Solomon Thornton. Warner Brothers is to blame for Batman. Oh, I can't read. Warner Brothers is to blame for Ben Affleck's Batman because the original story for Affleck's Batman was inspired by Fincher's The Game, and Deathstroke was going to be the main villain.
I would like that.
Matt Crane, kids are soft today. I dressed up as Batman like in 3rd grade. Yeah, they are soft.
I dressed as Batman too. I loved Batman.
Timothy Phillips, Chris, did you ever go to Thomas Video in Clawson, Michigan when it was open?
By the way, I worked at Thomas Video in high school all the way through college. I worked at Thomas Video when it was in Royal Oak, Michigan. It was catty corner from a Blockbuster. Thomas Video then carried porn and indie movies. And I lied about my age and worked there when I was 16. Finally, the lie came out. They didn't care. I mean, things were different back then. And I worked there through college when I first started Film Threat at the age of 19. So, yes, I know Thomas Video. I know the owners, Jim Olensky and Gary Reichel. I met my great friend, Paul Zimmerman, there, who went on to work on Film Threat with me. I have a whole history with Thomas Video. I shot a short film at Thomas Video, actually. I love that place. It was legendary. And they did move to Clawson, and then they moved, and then they sold all the tapes, went out of business, and Quentin Tarantino famously traveled to Michigan when Thomas Video closed to buy tapes. Make that a short or a clip video there, Lori. It'd be fun. But yeah,
so the answer is yes.
I got part of my film school education was working at Thomas Video, where I saw John Waters movies and trauma movies and exploitation movies and all kinds of films, all genres. I mean, they carried unrated movies, which were independent films. So I got quite an education in indie movies, John Sayles movies, like all kinds of, Roger Corman movies, art films. And that was my, Thomas Video was my film school because I'm a college dropout. I went to film school at Wayne State University and worked at Thomas Video. And I was so bad in the front counter. You won't believe, Alan, you could never believe this. I'm telling you this, that I was terrible dealing with customers. I don't think you could ever believe that. I was
No, I can't. Did you criticize what they were writing? And
not necessarily criticize, but I would suggest you don't want to watch this. Try this John Waters movie, Female Trouble, and I would get in trouble for recommending movies people would return and hate. It got so bad that they told me, Chris, we like you. You can't work with customers. You're not good. You're not good at dealing with customers. So I had to work in the back where I transferred people's home movies to VHS. And that was a whole other education. So I worked in the back of Thomas Video. They took me off the counter. Only when it was hugely busy would they say, Chris, I was like backup for on Saturday nights when it was busy at the front. So that was my Thomas Video. And I really owe my education in film to Jim Walensky, Gary Reichel, Paul Zimmerman, the whole gang there. But yeah, I was, no surprise, kind of an a-hole counter jockey at the video store.
Yeah.
Thank you, Timothy, for your question.
But you had an amazing ability to alphabetize. So that's why
I was great at that.
Bergacci, 5. I never liked Superman, but Zack Snyder made me see him in a different light, not as a superhero, but as an alien trying to fit in with everyone on Earth. And that is exactly why I hated Man of Steel. That's not a superhero. That's not a Superman storyline. Albert, not a retro for 10 Canadian. The way you do a DC cinematic universe is Soups, Bats, Wonder Woman, and Justice League get movies. Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, and everyone else gets TV shows. You connected with well thought out writing, or you connect them with. Bill Buttlicker for 100 rupees, I believe. I wrote parts of an original superhero movie script based on Man of Steel's soundtrack. That soundtrack is amazing.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable. It almost eclipses John Williams' original score for Superman.
No. Bumbledore for 5. Putting Batman and Superman in the same movie is challenging because they're both so different tonally. How do you make it work? Well, they made a comic book on that exactly.
Called World's Finest. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a tough thing to get right because tonally they're very different. Now, Alan, I have a treat. This past weekend, I went to a special screening at the Academy Museum and I saw The Thing in 4K. I was there with my buddy Shane Mackey, who's a comedian from Atlanta. I always hang out with him when I go to Dragon Con. And he and I are great friends. We love to talk movies. And I bought these tickets and it was an amazing event. And John Carpenter was there. I love John Carpenter from The Thing to They Live to Big Trouble in Little China to the original Halloween with PJ Souls. Everyone forgets that she's in that movie. But he also made Escape from New York with Kurt Russell. And during an interview, which you can see the full 30+ minute interview for members only, if you become a member, you can watch the whole video. But during this interview, John Carpenter was asked about Escape from New York. Bong Joon-ho, of course, the director of Mickey 17 and Parasite, he did the interview. In fact, he had a translator translate his interview questions. I have it queued up here, Lori. I believe it's 3250. He was asked about Escape from New York. Here's what he said. He confirms the people that own Escape from New York, the property, want to make a female Snake Plissken. And he talks about very briefly, and I'll play it for a little bit, but I want you to see. So here we go.
만약에 이제 다음 Escape 시리즈를 한다면 다음 도시는 어디로 하고 싶으세요?
If you could do a third installment of the Escape series, which city would you want to choose?
Earth.
Wow. Escape from Earth.
You know, now the business is crazy, but there are producers who are developing an Escape from New York movie with a girl as Snake Plissken. I'm not kidding you. And I think that's a big mistake.
커트 러셀이어야겠죠, 역시.
But it should be Kurt Russell.
But he doesn't want to play it. He thinks he's too old. It's not true. You know, we've only got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. And then I get to go meet my drug dealer. So.
All right. So, I mean, that's first of all, I love John Carpenter. He's pretty based I don't think he doesn't lean, or at least I have not observed him being politically on one side of the aisle or the other, but he quite rightly points out, I don't think a female Snake Plissken would work, and there's no reason Kurt Russell cannot play Snake Plissken. Alan, your thoughts? And I love Escape from New York is amazing. I forgive Carpenter for Escape from LA. It got too goofy with and I love Bruce Campbell. It got too goofy with like surfing and Escape from LA. I don't know what I like that Bong Joon-ho asked him, well, what city would you want to do? But he confirms a female Snake Plissken. We know that doesn't work because of the Furiosa movie. You can't do a female Mad Max, which is what they tried to do with Furiosa, even though the Furiosa movie was actually not a bad film. It was pretty good. The action was there. It wasn't super girl bossy, yet the way it was marketed, Furiosa was marketed to be very girl bossy. But a female Snake Plissken, his reaction was, you saw that. And I don't know. I just hope they never make it. And there is not a reason in the world Kurt Russell now could you imagine Old Man Snake Plissken? Could you imagine that?
Only as a woman.
But that would be so good.
I know. Yeah, you mentioned it. It's like
Kurt
yeah,
Russell, like Kurt Russell now. I mean, he was in Guardians Part 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. Why couldn't he just play an old man snake? He's being dragged in. I mean, how old were all the cast of Star Trek original series in all the Star Trek movies? They were old. Nobody cares about old. Stop being ageist Hollywood. Get Kurt Russell in a Snake Plissken movie. Give Carpenter a boatload of money. He's earned it. Let him make a big studio movie. And Rachel Zegler can be the villain. You can kill her in the end or something. You can have her character get killed. So anyways, what are your thoughts? And we'll go to chat comments.
Yeah, my thoughts are, I hate the fact that when he says female Snake Plissken, my thoughts are, of course they are. You know, it's of course, you know, They Live. Let's remake They Live, but this time it's two females.
Well, he does talk about it earlier in the interview. He is asked about They Live, and he said it might be a different side. He doesn't say what. Like I said, he doesn't reveal any sort of leaning, but you kind of get that he's pretty common sense. But for members only, please check out the full interview on our channel and join us as a member. We appreciate you. Let's go to comments here. Here we
Pilgrim Media for 2. What's your opinion of Nazi 1?
I did watch Neza 1. Neza 2 I saw in the theaters. It kind of blew my mind. Neza 2 or Neza 1 is on YouTube for free, and I froze. I'll be right back, Alan. I'll be right back. You read chat comments. I'll be back.
We'll keep going here. All right. Olo Li Ukui. I would watch Old Man Plissken. Kurt Russell can do no wrong still this time. What do you think about Wyatt Russell taking over? Sons and Shadows, give me Escape from Earth, like John and Kurt have long talked about for decades. That would be very interesting. Lori, if you can get some more comments, that'd be great. ADLS24, I bet this is a studio decision that he has no creative control over. Yeah, he doesn't own it. That's the way things have been. You pitch an idea, the studio buys it, they own it. You get to make the first one, but they own it, and they can fire you at any moment. Lord Shax, oh my God, this sounds like a skit. Alan walking up to a counter with VHS movies to rent, Chris yelling at him, saying, "No, not those. I just gave you a list to watch." Okay. There we go. Razorburn, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm out of bubblegum. That's right. Jay Price, not a fan of sex swapping, but They Live could be done with a female leading character. Of course they could. We do have a guest coming up, and once Chris comes back, we'll have a fantastic interview. Let's see. Let's move on. Joe Boo. Harrison Ford is 82. Kurt Russell just turned 74. Yeah, and look how that turned out. Let's see. R.J. McReady, the original Mad Max is such a brilliant film. That's right. Read by nature. Wyatt Russell could make a good solid snake. His natural blonde hair would make him good for liquid snake or for gassy snake. Yeah, but it's weird. But now I think about it, Wyatt Russell has that look that you could easily bring into it. Here, let me. One second. Okay. All right. Mars Monkey Max. There you are. If they made a female Snake Plissken, she would be better. She better be wearing assless leather pants.
That would be great.
That
would be great. Apologies, folks. I've been live since 8 a.m. So my apologies. Because I've been live since 8 a.m. It happens. And we're going to end the show today with a treat. For those of you who don't watch us on a regular basis, we make it a point to support indie filmmakers and talk to them about their movies. That's right. And we have Don Capria from a film called Director's Cut, who's going to tell us all about the movie. He is here. We'll look at the trailer. You can ask him questions. And he's about to join the show. Here he is. Don, thank you for joining us today on the show. Appreciate you. Thanks for being patient in the background there as we set things up. How's it going?
It's good. It's a good green room right here, so I'm doing all right.
That's good. Cool. It's a long day for me. I've been online a little too long here. But tell us about your movie, Director's Cut, and I want to show people the trailer.
Yeah. So I mean, how much to tell? So it started for me from a real place. I was shooting a music video in the woods of Pennsylvania, and it was a low budget video during COVID, and I was in like Pennsylvania. It was an area where not too many people venture out to. And I'm in an abandoned facility, and I had an expensive camera, and I thought, if someone breaks in right now and robs us, we are going to be taken for everything. And if I fight back, they'll probably kill us and no one will ever find us. So in that moment of fear, I started walking around set and thinking about this idea about a mysterious director hitting up these kids for a music video shoot. And that's when I arrived at Director's Cut, which is about a band getting hit up by a director on social media to go shoot a music video. He lures them out to the woods of Pennsylvania, and unfortunately, they don't make it back.
And what did it take to pull this movie together? I mean, there are like a lot of obstacles for an indie filmmaker. The number one obstacle, money. How did you pull together the budget to make this film?
I won a scratch off lotto ticket 1 week before filming that got me the $1 million. I wish.
No. How'd you really do it though?
I had shot a few short films before, and I worked with a few people in my area that really loved the experience. They got involved with me as producers on the finance side. And I just started really telling people about this film. I also attached this marketing plan to the film, and they really believed in the story. They believed that a horror film could do well. We made the budget really small so that we could try to earn the money back for them. So it took a long time. I'd say it was in development much longer than it was for the shooting and the editing process. So, it's one of those things where you have to be very patient and you have to just keep trying and keep taking meetings.
Yeah. So what does that like? This sounds really crazy, but when I do a panel at like Comic-Cons, where I ask people to ask me for $1 million, and then I say no, and I try to get them to convince me. So no, but it's really confronting. You're in a room, a couple hundred people, you ask me for $1 million, and I say no, you can't. And then get them to continue to ask the question and convince me. How do you talk to a financier, someone who has the money, and what are the things you say to get them to give you the money? And maybe it's like, I have photos of you doing something horrible that probably doesn't work. But what do you really say to them about investing in your film?
I mean, I learned from a book early on, I forget which one it was, but that people don't invest in films, they invest in people. So I think a lot of the people saw the passion behind the project. Some of them read the script. Some of them liked the presentation deck that I had. Early on, for me, it was really just about telling them about horror films and other horror films that were success stories. There's so many Cinderella stories. So I think comp titles were something that helped me to get people to understand that this could earn money, even if the film doesn't hit the mark and it's not, you know, a Terrifier. It's something that we could, you know, sell to a bunch of markets. And, you know, that kind of story, I think, gave them some security, you know, and above all, I was really meeting with people that had an interest in investing in film. You know, you don't take the meetings with people who just want to dance around the idea, that would never put money behind a film project, that just stay in real estate, just stay in. You want to do a little research on the person you're sitting down with. So that was something that I did before I even sat down with them to ask them. It was the person I was asking more than what I was saying.
Well, that's so interesting you say that. And I also have read a lot of books that are not traditional, that have helped me in business before. One of the things, Sam Raimi, famously, when he was in Michigan raising money for movies, basically focused on dentists. You can find him.
I've heard this.
Yeah, and he focused on dentists because their daily life of their job was kind of boring. So to take like 5-10 grand, put it into a movie, and they could say to their friends, like, hey, I invested in a movie. I'm going to the premiere of the movie I put money in. Kind of just added something to their lives. So like appealing to the ego of an investor helps. And like, look how exciting it is to be a part of a film. Although you have to always go with the caveat, you may never get your money back.
Yeah. It's in the risk memo.
Yeah.
You know, another thing I did was I'm here in Westchester County, New York, and I knew that I could film this close to home. So I knew that if I was asking people that were close to the area, they could come to set, you know, they could be a part of the experience. Of course, you know, the red carpet and the after party for all of that is amazing as well. But I think really making it an experiential investment and also letting them know that, like, as an independent filmmaker, we're going to have this film forever. It's a piece of real estate, and it's a seasonal film. It's a holiday film. It's a horror film. So every Halloween, you know, we hope that we're going to get, you know, some action from streamers. So I think it also helped with the genre. Not to say that everyone should go out and try to make a genre horror film first, but it is one of those entry level film things that, you know, another thing I had read somewhere was you want to make a real cheap movie, put 5 kids into a home, make the whole movie in there, and none of them come out. And that's kind of what I did with Director's Cut, you know?
Well, let's take a look at the trailer. Here we go. You ready? Here we go.
What's your name, guy?
They call me Mr. Director.
Cool. So, Mr. Director, what's next?
I think we're gonna record a music video. There's a director, and he wants to shoot us for free.
That's cool.
Seems too good to be true, but it could be the break we need.
There'll be no drama. Let's not ruin your big moment.
Yeah, this is it.
Let's explore. Maybe we should go back upstairs. Did you see that?
You guys are so funny. And also good looking.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was.
So, why'd you guys stop playing shows? None of us want to talk about that. I'm sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
What's going on?
We're leaving. Let's go.
You did the right thing. No one wants to die at the hand of some lunatic in the middle of nowhere.
I love the energy in the room.
Sweet.
Oh man.
How, first of all, location is a huge part of a film's budget. I also noticed you had a really good big budget looking drone shot. I feel that's a requirement, but the location's a big part of it. How'd you secure that location? People forget that. That's part of production value.
Oh yeah. So the original music video I shot was in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, an abandoned school. And when we were doing the cost to get everybody out there to shoot, it just was too expensive. So my one producer, Anthony Carpenter, lives in the area, and we just put out a mandate. We're like, we got to drive around. We need to find it, ask everyone we know about abandoned facilities. And one day he was just riding on Broadway in Yonkers, and he says, you know, I think I found something. And it was just this one photo he took, and I looked at it. We show up at this location. It ends up being this 100-year-old, 40,000 square foot mansion that they already use for film and video shoots. So we shot during the SAG strike, which was probably the only way we could afford it with them, because they wanted numbers we couldn't afford. But we were the only people that had the permission slip from SAG to shoot. So they allowed us to shoot for our budget. So it was kind of a perfect storm of all different events. But, you know, that location is a main character. Absolutely. I wish we could have used more of it because it was so big, but it really gave such a great optic for the film, and the drear, and even shooting in there it created an environment for us so that we made sure we were really feeling a little shook up. It was very cold.
We have over 4,000 people watching live. I'd like to go to comments from our audience here. We've got a bunch of comments for you. So let's go through these. Patrick Lemire, never go into the woods without a sidearm. Davina Duckworth, a pencil turkey sounds like the kind of monster that would be in the Pennsylvania woods. Alan, now I know
that's
you're
easy, huh?
The nerd throwaway. Hail, Mr. Capria. What would you like to do next?
Producer's cut. I've almost finished the sequel, so we're moving right on to the next one.
Is that weird? Because
wow.
Yeah, some $8.24. Speaking of a director's cut, was there anything you had to leave on the editing floor to keep the running time at a slick 90 minutes?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You need that 90 minutes in a horror. You don't want to just keep on, putting in stuff when it doesn't matter to the story, of course.
How many days was the shoot?
We did it in 21 days.
Okay.
Wow. How did you gather up your crew? Says Caveat Ties.
I come from a music video background. So a lot of the New York crew that worked music videos now works in advertisement. Some of the same, my director of photography and I have known each other for 25 years. So a lot of my New York crew.
M. Beaching, will there be a director's cut of director's cut? Sorry, I just. $8.24. Was the title something that you had on your mind from the inception of the idea, or was it something that came during the script writing or in post?
During the script writing, I think I came up with that.
Yeah, let's see.
And it was risky.
Khaled says, finally, a trailer that doesn't spoil the whole movie.
Thanks to Noah Marks, my editor. He really was like, we cannot show them everything. Yeah.
Razorburn, question. What was the movie that got you into making horror?
I mean, my favorite horror movie is Halloween. What made me... I'm sorry, guys.
No, I agree. I like... Great choice. Great choice.
I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. I love his pacing. But I think the movie that made me want to shoot horror movies, it might have been when... because I didn't start shooting till recently. I think it was Eli Roth's Hostel, and reading about him and about the process. And I think that's when I was like, I really want to tackle this. I want to make my own horror movie.
Yeah. And Adelis24 says, this sounds like a sibling to a film called Green Room. Have you seen that picture? And if so, was there anything you wanted to avoid or emulate in your own flick?
I love Green Room. And yes, having a punk band and having them travel somewhere, I think I wanted to get more into the sadistic side about who my killer was and why these kids were being killed. Where Green Room seemed more situational and it just happened to them. You could see in the film director's cut, it's a little bit more pre-planned.
And Green Room is very isolated. You know,
Yeah.
There you go. And I have a last question. How can people see it?
Well, right now it's available everywhere for VOD. We have a website, directorscutmovie.com, and you could just click right on the watch button for that website, and you can see it on whatever service you use, everything from Sling to Amazon, Apple TV, and the rest.
I found it. I'm going to share it so we can all look at it. Here is the website for the film, directorscutmovie.com. All the links. You can even contact you. There's a store. There's the teaser trailer and everything you need to see the movie. I love this poster, by the way. Look at that. That's great.
An Italian artist that I worked with some projects with in the music business, Nino Camerata, and I like shot him a concept and he knocked it out of the park. I love the poster too.
I'm a big movie poster buff. Like the Film Threat Instagram is just a feed of posters and then what Film Threat is doing. So, which is a lot of fun. So go to directorscutmovie.com, check out the film, get it on all platforms. I got to say, this has been great. Don, thank you for joining us on the show. And someone asked it earlier, but I know I was trying to do stuff behind the scenes. Your next project, Producer's Cut.
Correct.
Could you do other cuts?
So I wrote originally, when I started just that script, a trilogy. So it's director's cut, producer's cut, final cut. And then since then, the rough cut, which is Mr. Director's first kill, the first cut, which is Babs, his assistant's first kill, the jump cut, which is them going off on it. So there's a whole little universe that I've mapped out in the background on this. So yeah, it's going to keep happening.
The Cutiverse, as you like. Well, hey, look, Terrifier, when you have a franchise, you got to do it. You got to do it. I love that jump cut, producer's cut.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're having fun with the cuts.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure. Check out Don's movie Director's Cut and support independent filmmakers. Take care, Don.
All right,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And that's gonna. Oh wait, we have a super chat that came in, coming in hot.
Elliot Cecil for $4.99. Does Daredevil get better after 5 episodes? It's finally decent. Does it continue to be better? Yeah. The Muse storyline gets nasty, and then
and that final episode will make you want to see what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, the Muse storyline sets off a lot of events. A lot of the players start changing their positions, and it leads to I think a very satisfying ending.
Thank you, Elliot Cecil, and I want to thank our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, everyone who sent in a super chat, people who commented and participated. We have a great chat, and also Atomic Glory and Glenn Nuccio never get enough credit. So thank you to them. We will be live on Friday with tons of movie reviews. Another interview. We're interviewing another filmmaker. The director of Screamboat, Stephen Lamort, will be on the show. Screamboat will be in theaters. That's the Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie parody. Alan and I have both seen it. We'll review it and talk to the director Friday. And then Alan and I are doing split duty this weekend. We will be at the Credo 23 Film Festival is this weekend. Get more info at Credo23filmfest.com. I'm going to a cocktail party tomorrow.
I will be there too.
You'll be there? I'll be there. I'll be there. Alan, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
We'll both be there, and then we will also both be at WonderCon in Anaheim. I'm frozen again. It's all right. So appreciate all of you, and we'll be back Friday, and the next week will be a busy week. Alan, do you have anything coming up, or I should go with it?
I think you've just given away everything I'm doing. So yeah, I'll be at the Credo party. I'll be at Credo this weekend. I'll also be at WonderCon.
Awesome. All right. Have a great time, everyone. Thank you so much. And Alan,
let's get out of here.